The poaching of Asian elephants for ivory and meat remains a serious problem in many countries, especially in southern India and in northeast India, where people consume elephant meat. Asian elephants live in large blocks of forest near water sources and grasslands, a habitat that has been greatly reduced in the last half century. The Asian elephants once roamed from the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in western Asia and as far east as China's Yangtze River. But due to conflicts with elephants being disconnected from their natural habitat and mass poaching, that is no longer a reality. The Asian elephant is also known as the Elephas maximus. They range from an average height of 7 to 12 feet and weigh about 3 to 7 tons, or 6,000 to 14,000 pounds. Males have large tusks, and females and a few males have tusks called tushes, which rarely extend beyond the upper lip. In the wild, Asian elephants may live up to about 60 years, but most do not live that long. Due to the Asian elephant's adaptive trunk and harsh molars, they are able to gather a wide variety of vegetation such as grasses and herbs, leaves, fruit, farm grasses, and bark, although their main source of nutrition is grass. The females and young male elephants live in herds, which are also known as clans. The oldest and largest female, known as the matriarch, sets the pace of the group's activities. The young males of the herds often leave when they are about 13 years old, where they then travel alone or are what is known as bachelor groups. Asian elephants are an important cultural icon throughout parts of Asia. There's a mythical belief that the Indians thought that the gods and demons churned the oceans in search for ways to become immortal. As they did so, 9 jewels surfaced, one of them being an elephant. Ever since, elephants have been involved in the Indian culture as sacred creatures. The relations between the elephants and Indian people is a natural and sacred one that needs to be reestablished. Asian elephants are often compared to African elephants, and although similar, they have distinguishable characteristics, such as having a smaller rounded ear, while the African elephant has a large African-shaped ear. The Asian has a trunk tip shaped as a finger that is used for grasping objects, while the African has 2. Asian elephants are now a highly endangered species. It has been eliminated from Western Asia completely, from substantial parts of the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia, and almost entirely from China. Because of the constantly growing human population of Asia, the elephant's habitat is being encroached and the dense forest that used to be there is no longer. Unnatural inhabitation by humans are disconnecting elephants from their natural habitats. According to WWF Global, about 20% of the world's human population lives in or near the present range of the Asian elephant. Another issue these beautiful creatures face is illegal hunting and trade. Asian elephant males only have tusks, so the poaching is directed completely towards them. These animals are not only killed for their tusks, but also for their meat as well. It's also apparent that these elephants are being captured for domestic use. Fortunately, India, Vietnam, and Myanmar have banned the capture of these creatures for domestic use to conserve these wild animals. But unfortunately, it is extremely difficult to regulate. Since the males are being killed in mass numbers for their tusks, it creates an unbalanced ratio for these animals, which creates mating and creating offspring extremely difficult. We have not completely given up on these majestic creatures, though. Thankfully, there are conservation efforts going towards this species. As stated earlier, India, Vietnam, and Myanmar have banned the capture of Asian elephants for domestic use. In 2013, the Asian Elephant Conservation Fund was awarded 29 grants. They received $1,680,233 from these distributed grants. Also, 8 countries received program support from these conservation funds. With these funds, it creates options for these animals and opens doors to avoid unnatural selection. An organization known as Wildlife Without Borders is working to discontinue human-elephant conflict by increasing law enforcement capacity to monitor illegal logging and poaching, and educate the local communities to hopefully inspire and create optimistic views about the Asian elephants. Nature and humans don't seem to mix well entirely, so change has to come where these animals can have a safe environment to live in. This can happen by creating nature reserves and so forth. so nature can thrive in its natural habitat like it used to be able to before humans decided to disconnect nature with lifestyle choices. Although these animals are endangered, it seems that there are plenty of hope for these creatures with help from organizations and countries throughout the world. Hopefully one day these animals can be restored to a healthy population with the proper education and support. With hard work, these animals can roam the vast forests like they once did in peace and serenity. Do your part and spread the word to your fellow peers to make the issue known. Do not give up on this creature. It's a fight worth fighting for, and every action, whether minuscule or large, makes a difference.